I'd like to remind you, you're already in practice. Just take comfort in this moment as it is. Maybe you notice how just that statement alone brings a settled feeling to you. That you don't have to worry about anything else except for this moment. And maybe while you're in practice here with me today, you can instill that idea into your life practice completely. And that every moment and every thought is relevant. You are the culmination of your thoughts and your experience. And I think it's vital to take time to think about the things that you're in resistance in your life practice as you're moving through your life practice. What might you be resistant to? And what stress or tension or resistance are you continuing to carry with you? Where you might replace that thought or thinking with abundance. And the remembrance that you're just in practice. And really the idea of being in practice means being in flow. So anything that you've kind of held in that idea of lack or limit, instead bring it into the flow. Just a few moments longer, just breathing in and out. Maybe there's some kind of tension that's already arising for you, something you already know. There's tension surrounding something. How can you welcome that into the flow? How can you reprogram changing your thought and thinking about that? And let's just take a few moments to just hold the simple idea of abundance, and abundance is and always is. Just hold that in your mind. Abundance is and always is. And exhale through your mouth. Let your chin drop towards your collarbone. And then reach your hands up and take a nice big breath there. And reach your arms out to the sides. And take a breath there. So I have to point out that I said take a breath, but you continue to breathe. So there's this understanding of abundance is and already is. You already understand the idea of flow. That you are connected to a vital life force. Hands forward, reach up, big breath. And then release your hands down. And just move your head from side to side. And interlace your fingers, reach up. Place your hands behind your head and open up your elbows. Again, just hold that idea. Abundance is and only is, and always is. Abundance is and always is. And stretch your lungs and stretch your heart. And reach your hands back up. And exhale, release your hands down. Let's come to tabletop. And just make your way through a few rounds of cat-cow. And then rest yourself back to child's pose and just pause. Sinking towards the earth, starting to feel that connectedness there. And then walk your hands as far forward as you can. Take your arms a little wider so you can broaden your shoulders. And see if you can deepen your breath. And then rise up to tabletop again. Keep your hands where they are and just move forward and back. You might start to unwind your spine and gaze forward. Lengthening through the legs and drawing the sternum and heart forward. And then see if you can move around in a circle. Stretching forward and stretching back. And then just return to child's pose again, keeping the arms in length. And see if you can deepen your breath. And then move forward again to an upward facing dog. And lower yourself all the way to the earth. And then up and back again for child's pose. And let's do that 2 more times. Forward, just a slow lower to the earth. And then back up. And to child's pose. Good. Try one more time. And then just settling back to Balasana Child's Pose again. And sink even deeper towards the earth. And slow your breath down a little bit more. walking the hands over to the right corner of the mat. See if you can bring your belly in your rib cage. Keep the arms in extension. Just breathing there. And so you might think breathing is there for us to stay alive, but on the deeper level, breathing is there so that we can experience. You want to experience life. And I'm pretty sure that if every day really was exactly the same, you might question that desire to experience. Right? We all want to expand and experience more. To partake in the abundance that is. And if something is true, it's completely true. There's no false about it. So if abundance is, then it always is. There could be no lack. So maybe it's us that have to transform our thoughts and thinking on that. Right now, you're simply breathing and moving in your body, and there's an understanding of space and spaciousness. And an opening. And walking the hands to the left side. If we stopped moving, then there wouldn't be comfort, right? So we have to keep moving, we have to keep expanding, we have to keep breathing. And maybe some of you have already seen changes or shifts in your yoga practice, in your physical practice. And that's why you keep going. So that should apply to the rest of your life. Continue to open to creativity and the abundance that life has. And then walk your hands back to the center. And let's move again forward to that upward facing dog. And lower to the earth. And again, rise. And this time back to child's pose. Take your hands back and see if you can allow your forehead to rest towards the earth. Just heavy in your hips. And then let's rise to a seated pose and extend your legs forward. And we're going to pull the left knee in and just sit with a nice upright spine. I love that we can use the body as a vehicle a navigational tool, but also as a spiritual reminder. Maybe you've experienced me saying, just breathe, right? When you're in discomfort, just breathe. And then we'll twist to our left side. Or simply something such as this, where there's compression. And I say, don't back away from it. Move through it. Because we know there's something on the other side of that feeling that feels stagnant or stuck. We know that if we move through that, right, we can tap into abundance, comfort. And not comfort that just allows us to settle and just be okay with where we are, but comfort that continues to evolve and change and expand. There will never be a point in your life where continuing your yoga practice, you'll ever feel the same. And your body isn't going to stop expanding and stretching. It isn't going to stop inviting healing for your body. Right? So we just continue to practice. It feels good to breathe and to practice. And it feels good to know that discomfort isn't the end of the practice. It's just an opportunity to say, move through it. Let's come back to center and cross your left knee over your right. And then just forward fold. And don't push or force, just there breathing. So what areas of your life are you limiting yourself? Where might you change your thought and thinking and say, abundance is and always is? Can you move more intentionally through a situation? And then rise, let's reach the arms up. And bring your elbows down. And forward and up. And elbows down. Again, forward and up. And elbows down. Let's see if we can step our left foot to the earth, but still on the right side. And then take a twist to the right side, coming down to one or both of your forearms. And then see if you can bring the left side of your ribcage towards the right side of the body. Maybe lightly gazing off the right. So again, I ask you, maybe there's resistance here. Or you aware and can you open to the abundance? Give yourself permission to move through that space. Just using the body as a reminder. Any tension you're feeling isn't the end. It's an opportunity to open, to be in the flow. And so maybe movement and breathing is that creative energy. We can invite that. And also, every breath is a new breath. Sort of like inviting a new perspective. You've heard the expression breathing life into something. Every moment of your life, you are literally breathing life into it. And you get to decide how much and what that looks like. Let's come back and stretch your left leg out. Take a nice big breath, reach into the sky. Exhale, elbows down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, elbows down. One more time. Elbows down. And then pull your right knee in. Just giving the right knee a hug. And as you know, every time we move through a situation and we get through that, that builds the confidence to move through the next situation that we encounter. In yoga, move through one side of the body, keep breathing, survive that intense moment. The other side's easier. You already know. You can breathe through it. You can examine and investigate. Take your twist to the right side and breathe there. And every time we come back to something in yoga, right, we're basically like unwinding a layer of tension. And they call that sometimes, peeling the layers of the onion away. Meditation, we talk a lot about that. So we kind of have to think about what fears can we peel away keep uncovering the truth of our being. And that is that abundance is and always is. Always is. Let's see if we can move over and cross the right knee in front of the left. And just take a gentle forward fold. And then rise and reach with your arms. And carefully step your right foot to the earth and twist to your left side, coming down to one or both forearms. This time, focus on the right side of the rib cage, moving towards the left side. And stretch your breath. And that breath that massages your muscles can also massage your life. Just that continuous reminder. Keep breathing. There's something else. And then take your time and come back. And stretch your right leg out. Let's go ahead and find whatever you're going to use today underneath your knees and pull that underneath your knees. And again, that could be a blanket or a bolster or a pillow, whatever you have. And then just come down to your back and reach with your arms. And lift your breath. And as you're exhaling, press the back of the rib cage, the back of your scapula to the earth. And every breath that you take in, breathe deeper. So it's a longer, more spacious breath. And even the exhalation can be slower until you release all of that CO2. Right, so the deeper that you breathe, right, the more cleansing you're bringing to that breath. Just another breath. And then step your feet to whatever you have there. Bring your arms to the sides and let your knees move left and right, all the way to the outer edges of your hips. And the next time you come back, pull your right knee in towards your belly. And squeeze really tight. Really tight. And you might exhale through your mouth as you're squeezing. Release your jaw. Remind yourself to be soft. To release from the inside out. And then see if you can reach to the inside of your right foot. And either take peace sign fingers to your big toe or just hold the outside of your right foot. And then stretch your right leg towards the sky. So whichever hold is available to you. And then stretch your leg, any degree. And then very consciously relax your hamstrings and your glutes. See if you can soften the back of the leg a little bit. And notice the slow, subtle shift and change. And then release your right leg and reach with your right arm in length. And stretch your right side. Maybe rotating the ankle and moving the toes. You can make a fist with your right hand and move your wrist, move your fingers. Maybe opening and closing the hand or squeezing all the toes into the foot and then opening. And just some movements. And then step your right foot back, release your right arm and pull your left knee in. And hug really tight, really tight. And invite yourself to breathe. And then see if you can reach to the inside of the right knee and clasp either the big toe or the side of the foot. And reach your left leg to the sky. And again, breathe. Just allowing the leg to stretch. Exhale through your mouth. Still breathing. Softer from the inside. And then release and reach with your left arm and move your toes and move your wrist and move your fingers and rotate your ankle, opening and closing fingers, squeezing the toes, right? Stretching the left side. And then pull both knees in and move a little bit from side to side. Knees could be close, knees could be wide. Just rocking. And maybe all the way to the sides of the shoulders. Maybe across the forehead. And as you come back, you can step your feet back to that surface. And give yourself a reach so you can lengthen through your spine. Walk your shoulder blades. Rooted along your spine into the low back. And then let your knees fall out to the sides, bringing the bottom of your feet together, either on that surface, or maybe your feet are floating over the edge of that. And then release your arms back to the sides. And find that wonderful breath. And come back to that idea. Abundance is and always is. Always is. Just beginning to move your head from side to side, coming back to that awakening breath. And then see if you can bring your knees towards your belly, but keep them wide. And maybe clasping the outsides of your feet. Some of you might place the bottom of your feet together. As you elevate your heels, you might be able to bring your head back to the earth. If your head is not touching the earth while you're doing this, please take 4 breaths and then release. Otherwise, just continue to breathe here for maybe 10 breaths. Drawing the heels towards the belly or towards the glutes. Feel the stretch of the arms. Very conscious exhalations, maybe through the mouth. That idea of softening, remembering that you're in the flow. Every breath and every moment is new. Just opening to possibility for your being. Breathing in and exhaling. And again, if your head is not touching the ground and you're still holding, please let go and stretch everything out. Just pausing there. Thank yourself for the effort you brought. And then release, everyone. Arms and legs reaching. And then release your arms to the sides. We'll step our feet back to the surface. Cross your left ankle over your right knee and rock from side to side. Finding your way all the way to the outer edges of your hips. So maybe the foot is lightly touching on one side, and maybe the knee is touching on the other side. There's something wonderful about the unknown, even though it's slightly scary. Because again, it reminds us that there's no limit, right? And abundance is and always is. We can have an idea about the outcome that we're desiring, but even still, we still want more expansion after that. We don't want to stop expanding. We don't want to stop learning, right? There's part of you that already understands abundance is and always is, and that's a good thing. You want that. You want the challenge to expand, to learn new things about yourself. Let's come back to center and set your left foot down and cross your right ankle, and then move from side to side. And come back and place your right foot and just sway knees from side to side there. Just left and right. And then extend your legs over whatever you have there supporting. Take another reach with your arms. Interlace your fingers behind your head. And just curl up a little bit. Squeeze your elbows. And then back down. And try that 3 more times. Curl up. And back down. Good. Again, up. And down. Just once more. And down. All right, step your feet back to the top of that surface. Release your hands out to the sides. Draw your knees towards your belly without using your hands, and then send your feet to the sky. Let's place the hands behind your knees and breathe. You can support there. And there might be a little bend in your knees, and that's okay. You're going to start to take the heels wide. If you are comfortable straightening your legs more, you're more than welcome to. If you don't feel like you need to support the backs of your knees, you can release your hands at this point. Otherwise, allow your hands to support either the back of the knees through the outside, right, or release. And breathe. So the greatest areas of your life to see potential are the greatest challenges in your life. Right? What areas of your life are holding tension? Where is the discomfort? And can you change your perspective? We feel and sense all of the tensions of our life experience in the body. I'm not a political person, but I do know that if you say something about politics to some people, they feel it in their body. It's very upsetting to them. They feel it in their body. Right? The same thing is true of maybe religion or money. Right? The list is long. What areas do you feel discomfort? And then go right there and ask yourself, how can I see abundance is and always is in this area of my life? How can you transform your thoughts and your thinking? Still here in this pose. Transform your thoughts and your thinking about this pose. Moving through resistance brings opening. And we have the power to show ourselves the way. Right? To start eliminating the residual thought and thinking that is not serving us, not helping us. Still breathing. Don't hold your breath, still breathing. Maybe 3 more breaths. And then start with a micro bend. Rock from side to side. And then pull your knees together and move your knees around. And then stretch everything out. Arms and legs. And then place your feet back on that surface again and rock from side to side. And place your left ankle over your right knee and rock from side to side. And then step your left foot back and cross your opposite side and rock from side to side. Right, when we come back to something, come back to an idea, hold space around it, surrounding it, it's easier. Release your legs and just be still. Settling every part of your body. Right, the back of your skull, the sides of your skull, the top of your skull. As you exhale, heavy across your shoulders and down the palms into the fingers. Along the spine, extending outward through the legs to the toes. Right, and the flesh itself, softening. Feeling the heaviness of your body, trusting the supportiveness of whatever's beneath you. You have a foundation that brought you to this point in your life experience. Continue to tap in abundance. Tap into abundance. The idea that abundance is and always is. Keep breathing. Remember the flow of your life. The newness of every moment. And the beauty that there is a newness of every moment. You are always evolving and shifting and changing and always in that opportunity to expand your experience. Thank yourself for the beautiful, perfect expression that you are, and always that you are ever changing. That part of you that's willing to expand and grow and experience. What a gift. What a wonderful gift. And then very slowly move your head from side to side. Start to awaken everything. Step your feet to some surface. Move a little bit from side to side. And cross your arms over your shoulders and rock from side to side. And then choose a side of the body to roll to. And make your way up to any kind of seat that you like. Bowing to that internal space. I thank you for being. I thank you for your care and your breath and your life force, that energy within you that allows you to be a unique expression of radiance and beauty. And I thank you for sharing that with me. Namaste.